Of course. There's a flashing white light.
Howdy, it's Matt, and what we've got in front of us today is a very sad state of affairs. We have a Durafly Bonanza, and unfortunately Matt has been and stamped on it. And that's the reason why we're going to have this introduction little section before we get across the flight line and you see what happened for real earlier today, because what would drive Matt to stamp? I've never stamped on a model. I was so frustrated today. So that's what this video is about. We're not poking Hobby King or anything like that. It was just my utter frustration. I think we can share that as pilots. Sometimes things just don't go to plan as pilots and they just go completely wrong. And today was just one of those days. And when I saw this model first come out, I really kind of liked the look of it, okay? No, let me get this correct. I didn't quite like the look of it, and then it kind of grew on me. It's a V-tail, and then the more I looked at it, the more I thought covert FPV. You can imagine if I put that right now, you're going to have to use a lot of imagination, is that it did have the potential to be set up for covert FPV, and that's what my intention was. And I've had this model here for a couple of days, and do keep in the back of your mind, this model was bought out of my own money for my own abuses. This was not a freebie sent here for review. And anyway, I bought it, and it'd been here for a couple of days, and yesterday afternoon decided that yes, I'm going to go flying today, because this is being recorded a day later. So me and the missus set about getting this model ready for flight for today. So the missus laminated the wing, which was no short feet, and actually is the only thing which is left intact. So if you want a reason to laminate your model, there you look at the rest of the model. Excuse that bit there where my foot was. But the rest of the wing's fine. The rest of the fuselage has definitely seen better days. So coming back onto the topic, you don't have this section, this cut out bit here in the normal Bonanza. I cut that out, I sculptured a lovely piece of plywood in there, did foam inserts. I spent about 20-30 minutes making that piece and getting it stuck in. Beautiful piece of work to get that in there. Got the vector in there as well. I had to do two separate wiring looms to get that in for this model. I spent ages sorting things out and stuff, and yeah, I literally spent, it must have been like 4 to, I think it's about 8:30, 4.5 hours. And that was not including, and the missus was giving me a hand as well, so that I could take it out and fly it today. Up underneath the wings, I got the CG marks, which you'll see later on in this episode when we get across the flight line. And it just went so wrong. I had real high aspirations for this model being one of those like covert FPV models. It would look like a real aeroplane in the sky, and I'd seen other people fly it and it looked really good. However, today was just one of those bad days where no matter what it felt like, no matter what I did with this model, it was doomed to not go right. And I just want to make absolutely clear from the onset that this is part one, okay? We're doing part one because I took what was supposed to be just a normal line of sight model and I converted it to FPV, and I even put, like I said, put a vector in it. It's like 200 quid's worth of vector gone in it and whatnot, and excluding FPV gear, etc, etc. And I thought I was going to have something really cool, and it just didn't turn out that way. So keep in the back of your mind, the way which I'm going to frame this is that this is part one, and this is where everything went wrong. And what I've been and done, because I don't want this to be like a representation on the model itself, because I've seen other people fly this model and it flies alright. There's a few minor things, like I could say, like the cowling, that it's a bit underfault with not having any plastic protection for it, and the prop's the worst prop I've ever come across for as far as balance, and it was missing the washer inside, but we'll put that aside. I don't want this to be a representation of the model, or even Hobby King for that example. What I want to make a point here is that this is going to be part one, and everything just goes wrong in it, okay? To the point Matt gets so frustrated he puts his boot in it. And in part two, I've ordered another one of these. So I've bought a second one of these models, another 80 quid. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be with us here on Tuesday. And then we'll get it out for later on in the week, and we'll go and fly it as it's meant to have been flown, like a line of sight model. And I might FPV it later, but to be honest, this has given me such a sour taste for converting the model that really has put it into question while I will do that. So yeah, there's the intro. This is the Hobby King Bonanza Part 1, where everything, and I mean everything, goes wrong to the I do get passionate about stuff, okay? You've seen me set fire to stuff when I think things are really bad. I don't think this is that case, okay? I want to make that absolutely clear. I don't think this isn't me having a go at Hobby King. This isn't me repping the daylights out of this model. This is me as a pilot in a very, very frustrating scenario, which is that we go to throw it, it goes splat, we go back, we check CG, we go over everything. You will see everything in the video. I was going through all the checks, a third person checking everything as well, and it does exactly the same thing. Now, I am 100% sure it's my fault. We could say, there's one thing which you could say, maybe the ESC wasn't calibrated, so it didn't have enough thrust, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that, because then we didn't have enough airspeed, then it maybe caused a tip stall, and it's more than likely my fault, okay? So that's the reason why we're doing this intro. So we're going to see part 1 right now in a couple of days' time, for you at least. The second model will have already arrived, and we'll get that one out onto the flight line, and we'll fly it line of sight. Like I said, I've seen these fly line of sight, and they do really, really well. It's just I modified mine, and I made a mistake. So with that said, keep that in the back of your mind. We're going to jump across to the flight line. And yeah, I was going to say enjoy, but to be honest, today wasn't an enjoyable day flying. And after this one went in, that kind of set the tone. I think I had like 3 flights afterwards. And that was it for me, really, as far as flying went, because I just lost, I had just no taste for it afterwards. A very frustrating day. So as you're about to see. So, by the way, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions why this went so wrong, please do let me know down in the comments section underneath this video. Remember, one of the founding factors for this YouTube channel was for me to always be me, to never lie, and to be humble. And I'm being humble here because I made a mistake. I think I overdid it with this model. I asked too much of it, and that's why we're seeing such a state in front of us right now. Anyway, let's get across to the flight line. From myself, Matt, enjoy what you're going to see and take it with a pinch of salt, because we'll get a new one here and we won't modify it, and I'm sure it's going to fly great.
Stabilization on. External launch. Stabilization on. Stabilized.
Stabilised. So this game's right up a second, so that's right.
Yeah. We're sat under a tent at the moment. Normal way. Yeah. I do. Just come past the Summerford turnings.
Stabiliser way. Right. Push down.
Yeah. Basically, whatever goes up,
Yeah.
the elevator, the surface needs to go up as well.
Yeah. I am going to launch in stabilised mode.
Yeah. Don't want any other way at the moment.
No. Don't want to ruin my. I don't want to lose my £6.
No.
You got this on camera?
We have, yeah.
Oh, I'll stick it on there. Have I got an SD card in there?
Yeah.
Propeller gone right way? Yeah. How many beans has it got?
Lots. camera's working off that. Hopefully it's just all not enough tape on the bonnet. And your couple of quid. Yeah, there's no bottom of the cowling anymore. That's a bit. You saw that? It goes went. I don't know. Our silence speaks volumes. Yeah. That stabiliser was moving the right way, wasn't it? Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's definitely right. Rudder. No, that's in stabilised rudder. No, it's on the vector.
Hello. How you doing, beautiful? I can see you.
Andy loves a man.
Get the words right in my mouth. Right, this is post-maiden of the Bonanza, and me and you, we were speechless, weren't we?
Shocking was the word. I
Never a flat spin with a vector. And that, bearing in mind it is slightly tad heavy, but it still shouldn't have flat spinned. And I don't know. It's almost like it pops on backwards.
Yeah, it's just, it was shocking. I've never seen anything like that before. I genuinely have not seen, well, since the Bonza yesterday.
No, Friday.
Oh, Friday, yeah. I just don't know what to say. So we're going to lob it again. I'm going to ask Austin nicely to hold this one and point it in roughly the right direction, because we've got it on your camera, haven't we?
Yeah.
But absolutely shocking through it, and it was definitely, we checked everything. It's nose heavy, all the surfaces move the right way, even in stabilised mode they move in the right way and everything, and it just killed over, didn't it?
Yeah, just didn't want to fly.
Just genuinely didn't want to fly.
Computer says no.
It says no.
Maybe it was jealous of your Bonanza.
The Bonza, yeah.
Maybe it just wants to be like its bigger brother.
I don't know. So
It doesn't want to be like.
bring you up to speed. I'll put some photographs on the video for you. But underneath there, we've got an Eagle Tree Vector. We did have the GPS unit back there, but we've had to move it out here on the wing so we can hit CG. We've got the Crossfire kit in the wing. We got £6 in £2 coins in there. We've got £4 and 20 pences rammed at the front. Huge, great big 4S 2200 pack in there. I tell you, the one thing which I am going to change is that I think we should change that battery out, because I remember I joked about it sagging.
Yeah, it shouldn't sag in the first 10 feet. A couple of circuits maybe.
Yeah, but I had that in the Bonanza yesterday, on Friday, and
How much percent of battery's got in it?
Well, it said it had loads, but with the tester's just there. We've already tested it. We know the battery's alright. We've already tested it, but I'm just trying to rule out. Because I'm grabbing at straws now. What, like
91%.
92, 91, yeah. So it's not that.
Ain't gonna sag. Not that quick.
Right.
Right.
Have a seat there. Let's get
Stop robbing your bloody.
You trying to knit my thingy again? Right.
Welcome to Tyrannus. Switch warning. Stabilize mode. Horizon mode. Engine off. Middle rates.
Every other mode.
All modes on.
Commode.
Mother load.
Landing mode.
Right. So right, left, up, down. Yeah.
That
Right,
looks.
left. There's a lot of movement because it's on high rates.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, it's on.
Interest rates.
Yeah.
Is
So
that why that one was up when we turned it on?
that was how it came.
That's where it bailed, didn't it? It bailed down that way.
Yeah. So if anything, that was pushing it.
You want to put it was pushing. Oh, you want to.
It went left, didn't it?
Yeah.
So that's pushing it right.
Trim it right. No, because that was up.
Yeah.
That's pushing it left.
No, it's pushing. Oh yeah. So we need to sort out that one. So that's the only end.
Or
No.
just trim it. All
Yeah.
the way to the right.
Have
To
we
the
got-
left even.
Right, we've got video.
Left, right.
So hang on.
Is that your left or my right?
Hang on. So look,
Yeah.
That's right, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah,
that
it's
right?
trying to push the.
It's trying to push
Try-
that surface.
trying to push the high wing down.
Right, yeah.
That's trying to push the high wing down.
Yeah, and then down. And
Yeah, that's trying to push the nose up.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the only unknown we got is that one. And
Just trim it. I already did trim it, I think.
With a sledgehammer.
Trim on there.
Alright. There you are. Cool. Hang on, let me get that in there because we might need some trims. Menu page.
That goes the other way.
Right, let me get those trims incorporated.
Stabilization off. External module. Stabilization
Stabilize
off.
the sounds. What funny things you making there in the background?
We wouldn't be doing such a thing as that, would we?
External module.
No.
Stabilization off.
Right. We need to glue that lid on. Right. For me, we were like,
Right. It's the quietest he's been all morning.
Is it?
yeah. Could you give us a nod, please?
I'll give you a toss off again.
Thank you.
I'll try not to eat your nose this time.
Yeah. It's not as attractive as it once was.
Was it an attractive aircraft?
I quite liked it.
Out
It
of the
did
box,
look-
it looked really pretty.
Yeah.
I've just
And I've been
landmined.
since, and it's gone downhill since.
Let's spin like that, let's put the weight. You put full chat.
That ain't pulling at all, is it?
I can almost hold that with my front hand.
Really hard lob then.
Airspeed is your friend. Hey.
Engine off.
Of course. There's a flashing white light.
Sorted out.
Look at pick money up. I see actually count how much money we had in it.
That was weird.
You saw that, didn't you?
Yes. Maybe it only flies well in Australia.
You have new mail.
That is
So you just quickly rewind that. You saw us check the CG.
Checked
you saw us
everything.
Check the surfaces.
Check that.
Yeah. And I wasn't even in stabilised mode. So
No.
we can rule that out as an issue.
Yeah,
CG was correct. Look at the
Yeah.
pins where they are.
yeah.
Pin and pin. There's nothing to show here, I'm afraid.
Apart from the fact that it just didn't want to fly.
No.
And it was beautifully into a steady wind.
Yeah.
It's not gusty wind.
Yeah, and granted it was underpowered, but that doesn't even make it do.
Yeah, but if it was underpowered, it should have just gone.
Stays
Yeah.
there and flopped.
Yeah, yeah.
Not.
Nose down in.
I'd like to spin my ass into the floor.
It's not going to work now. I put my boot in it.
No.
Ah.
Oh well. See, we can't make. You can't. That. I
Yeah.
have somewhat of a history with Hobby King products, and I'm sure it does fly great.
Yeah.
That it was frustrating. Have you ever seen me put my foot in a
No.
model before?
No.
I'm drawn a blank.
Yeah.
There you go.
That is
Take a photograph straight on Instagram.
damn right. Page 1. I don't get it. Wings look alright. I'm sure we could build something out of those wings.
Do you want
Not really. That's weird. You'd have thought with a Vector, it'd be fine.
It was moving the right way. It was
That's
going
like,
down
yeah.
to bring it back stable. And
Yeah.
everything was right, and the trims were incorporated, and it just. Bleh.
Even the throw was perfectly level.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been that underpowered that you had. It was just going to go. Meh. Anyway, I know one thing we found out about this aircraft.
What's that?
Andy loves men.
£10.40.
How much did you change? and I got £2 in my pocket as well.
Yeah, we've only got £6 on the nose, haven't you?
Oh yeah, we had some 20p
And
in
there's
there.
£4.
There's £1.40 there as well.
£6 on the nose. Sounds like you've just been betting on the horses. I'm sure those electrics will work for.
80 quid's worth of. But there's 80 quid's worth of foam you shouldn't buy. There you go.
Well, unless you do everything that Hobby King tell you to do.
Well, it's,
Put the exact battery they use, the exact.
well, even that.
I know it was. Yeah, it's taped up. It's just,
I've got one out. You ain't going to get that out.
oh, I think I've set fire to that.
Or knife.
Just put it in the shop. And go, there's £2 in there somewhere, me love. Yeah,
Shocking.
Just, hang on, I'm trying to be absolutely fair here. Absolutely, the airframe is overloaded. Like the wing loading's much higher because we got a Vector in it, bigger battery, and we had to stick a load of weight in the nose. So we've got to be fair there.
It was heavy, yeah.
It was definitely heavy, but not like grossly heavy. Because what, a couple of grams of that, slightly bigger battery and some coinage to it.
Yeah.
Even a heavy model with a good lob, which you had, would have flown straight.
Well, it would have flown straight and not
And just gone flop.
suddenly gone all squirrely and
Yeah.
hit the deck.
And then we saw the stabiliser settings. They were correct. Weren't
They were correct, yeah.
And you can't like reverse those in mid-flight, can you?
No.
It's not like in me trying to pull a fast one or anything like that.
Yeah.
And as we saw on the transmitter,
Yeah, it was all in
that was
stabilise off mode.
That was stabilised off.
So it was pass-through mode.
Yeah. Not really a bit much of a bonanza, really.
Thing is, all I hear is the theme tune to the old TV show.
Which one?
Bum ba lum ba lum bum 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 ba ba. Bum ba lum ba lum bum 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 ba.
I got a nice little Durafly doodad though.
That's quite nice, that,
that
isn't
was
it?
quite nice, isn't it? That was
Yeah.
80 quid or whatever it was.
It's not really durable, and it definitely didn't fly. So we can't really call it a Durafly.
No, not this one anyway.
No.
Shocking. I spent freaking hours yesterday on that, getting that Vector in there. I had to do a resolder in it. Missus even laminated the bloody wings.
You even built your
You
own.
can tell the bit you did laminate because that's the only piece in one bit in one
Is it
piece.
one piece in one piece? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't.
That was designed to have something put in it, wasn't it, or not?
No.
Or was that?
No, I cut that bit out. I even put a
Oh,
look.
yeah, you built a board. I saw
built a
that in the
board in there.
photographs. But even that should not have.
Hang on. I've just remembered.
Uh oh.
No, it's not that bad.
Slight intermission.
Yeah. I always remember watching an episode of a certain YouTube channel. Get in that poo! Oh, Austin, thank you for your camera.
Well, don't thank me just yet.
Yeah, I've seen it
Thank me
all.
in the edit.
Oh.
I mean, because mine wasn't actually on.
Oh no! Balls.
But you,
I've never had such a bad.
I've never seen a plane do that with a Vector in it.
I've seen something do that.
I've had stuff. I've done.
I've done that, but I'm a pilot that can't fly.
And I've had it where I've had surfaces going the wrong way.
Yeah. But that just decided it didn't even.
Headwind.
It didn't even spin like that. It spun and then tail spun and then
Yeah.
it just did everything. It was just weird.
Odd.
So for myself, Matt, Andy doing the silly things in the background, and Austin,
Yeah.
speechless. There you go. You should definitely buy one.
Don't put a Vector in it. Or
No.
£10.40.
Yeah, it's £10.40. That didn't bit though. £10.60. You would have been fine.
Yeah. Or £10.20.
Oh yeah.
Or use the extra £10.60 to buy something a bit better.
Yeah. eBay. You can buy it for £10.60 on eBay. I'll put it on there in a minute. Cheerios.